Hi, this is my first video regarding the New World Order and the problems that we've all faced today and what we can do about it. First I want to talk about the idea of what is the New World Order and where does it come from. Now, the three main areas of this world order is to create a one world country, a one world religion and a one world economic, financial, political system. Now this is greatly accepted by many researchers and is even the actual confession of many of those behind the scenes who are working to achieve it. So first of all, I want to share some thoughts I have. And the first is regarding countries. Now if we think about what a country is, we think about the ground outside, a large field or something like that. Now you have to ask yourself, do you see a black line separating one piece of land from another? Or do you see a name engraved in the ground that can't be removed? The truth is no, simply not. So what this shows us is that the truth is there is no such thing as a country, and there never has been. Where a country really comes from is, going back in our race far enough, people have weaknesses within the flaws of their character, and they have created the idea of a country because of the territorial aspect of that. Some pieces of land had lakes and rivers, water. Others had shelter, rocks, trees, caves, forests, vegetation, animals, etc., etc. So rather than share what it was that we had, we became very territorial about it and destroyed those who had what we wanted. We refused to share what we had. And over time, these areas became known as tribal nations. And the people gave themselves a colour or a group of colours to identify themselves, a name and an identity. And this separated themselves from other human beings who looked just like them but thought and felt slightly different about how things should be done or what they should have. And over time this has mushroomed into what we have today. And if you stand two people side by side, you can't really tell the difference between the two as to where they come from. So there is no difference, there are no countries at all, it's just an idea that quite simply got out of hand. And as we've shown ourselves over the last few million years or whatever, that we can't live side by side without differences, without destroying each other. And the goal of the New World Order, as we know, is to create a one world country of which they control the whole planet itself. So this is a very enlightened idea. This kind of takes us back to what it was that we used to be, even for just one day. That we are all united as one and there is no country at all. And what this does is that this brings an end to all of the problems that we have in our world today. So the one world country, the idea that it's only one piece of land rising up from beneath the waves, is an enlightened idea. It very much is. Now let's look at religion. The one world religion. Well, there are many different religions, but the truth is that there is no such thing as religion. There are many stories and many events in our history that have happened, and we have our own ideas of what they meant, the interpretation of the legends and the stories that we are given, and different ideas about where it is that we come from. But the truth is that the name and identity, the belief system, is only different from one person to another, but the manipulators behind the scene have done such a good job of building and streamlining this business, which works to their own advantage and benefit, not the advantage and benefit of many others. They use the fear of people, fear of the unknown, as their weapon against people to take away their free will and control them to do their own bidding, or to give them money, to give them control, and to use them as pawns and cannon fodder to destroy anyone else who disagrees with them. And many religions claim to be about peace and love and forgiveness and killing is wrong, etc. But we've had a very long history of doing this to each other based on those beliefs, and so of course it contradicts the point. So it's nothing more than an attempt to understand what it is we are and where we come from. So the truth is that there really are no religions. It's a man-made invention, and it's been used by very manipulative, dark, evil people to hurt and destroy the world. Now, depending on what you believe, if there is no God, then we all came from a single cellular explosion which created the whole universe. That's fine. If you believe that there is a God or gods or deities that created us out of their own free will and power, their imagination, and out of their heart and their love, then that's fine. The thing is that we all come from the same point. We all come from the same planet, all come from the same source of existence, the same thing that created it. Any difference that we think we have, we've only invented for ourselves. And we've accepted this. We don't have to accept it, but we have done. So I don't believe there's anything in religion at all. Now, with regards to politics or a one world economy, financial system, for me politics is destined to fail because the politicians today are trying to be all things to all people all at once. And of course that's impossible because we're all different. It's okay to be different, we don't have to destroy each other over that in any way, but we choose to because of the weakness of our free will, weakness of our character. And if the only laws and rules we should be living by are the universal divine laws that we were given in the very beginning. Now, if you're not religious and don't believe in the commandments or God or the sins, etc., that's fine. If you believe we came from a single cellular explosion, then that's fine. But we know there are laws of nature, laws of science, laws of cause and effect, such as if you do it to someone, then they will do it to you. Night to day, day to night, etc. And a lot of these are things that we can get behind and accept. But when it comes to the more religious side of things, more divine laws you might say, such as the sins, the commandments, then these are things that we can also get behind as well. They're a very good guideline for living our lives. But these are the only laws and rules that we really should be living by. That's all we've ever really needed. Everything else in our world that we have laws or ideas about is man-made. So we have created a whole new world for ourselves, and that's perfectly fine, nothing wrong with anything that we have today, but what we use it for is paramount. And what we've used it for is to hurt many others, and this has caused a lot of problems and contradictions, of course. So if you can't be all things to all people all at once all the time, then you're destined to fail, because and the thing is that every party or political idea on some level has something that we can agree with. It sounds good in its own various way. And the point is to try and get us to sound enough like one of the groups to put us into that area and divide and conquer and turn us against each other. And of course, as you know, the manipulators behind the scene are controlling all sides of the equation. And only they know where we're really going. And when it comes to the bigger political idea, there's all sorts of things that we can get behind. And if anyone can get behind murder is wrong and stealing is wrong, but the devil is in the details, as they say, and when it comes to these smaller little laws and how things should be handled, such as treatment of people who've committed crimes, etc., then you begin to break down into different ideas and into smaller groups. Are you liberal, are you left-wing and right-wing, etc.? And that's when they first of all get you by making themselves sound broad enough and general enough to get you, first of all, get your attention and support. And then when it begins to break down into little details, that's when we form lots of tiny, smaller little groups and get into arguments and conflicts with each other, all the while ignoring where the true source of the problem came from. Now, the truth is that a lot of the things we talk about and argue about today aren't the true cause or source of the problem. It is the symptom of the problem. It's the arguments we have that turn us against each other, the refusal to agree to disagree, the refusal to accept that we have different opinions and that it's okay to be wrong sometimes. But It's the immaturity and the weakness of the human character and mind and the heart that has produced the world that we're living in today. And it couldn't have got there without our permission. We had to accept that. And if you think about the manipulators behind the scene as the stem of a weed in your garden, for example, you then have the branches, which the branches are military, business, etc. And the leaves of that branch are the individual companies or institutions. And they will cast a shadow over the surrounding area below and keep us in the dark, which is their job. Now if you clip the leaves, they'll grow back. You cut off the branches, they can grow back. You cut off the secret society, the elite at the base, and it will grow back. And they know this, and they think, well, why relinquish our power? But it's better they deal with the devil they know than the devil they don't. If we don't do it, someone else will. And they're right, because the truth is unless you rip up the root cause and the source of all these problems, which is in here and in the mind, then you'll never be able to defeat this elite system. You're just going to strengthen and reinforce and justify their purpose and cause, which is why in their own mind they are the good guys. And the new recruits they bring aboard, they believe also that they're the good guys. Because the point is temptation. They can't make you do anything. You have to want to. They can lie to you, they can trick you, they can deceive you. They're not going to play very fair. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to your own free will and choice. And if the secret societies and the elite were terminated tomorrow, what would take its place? I've never heard anyone ask that question before or provide any real answer. We all know that other manipulators will come in and try and usurp power for themselves. That's some of the thoughts I've heard before. And most likely, yeah, that person's right. So the true cause and source of this New World Order in this elite is the fault and weakness of the human character. And the New World Order is a truly enlightened idea, it really is. But it's being done in the wrong way and for the wrong reasons and for the wrong people. If we can build a New World Order by us, for us, and in the right way, then we can eliminate the need for their system legally, economically, practically, and we can begin immediately. And we can show them that if they carry on doing what they're doing the way they're doing it, they're now destined to fail. And if you say no to this New World Order, then you're saying no to world peace, you're saying no to unity of the consciousness, you're saying no to an end to all of our problems. And that's one of the devil's weapons of choice, is mixing truth and lies so closely together that it's difficult to tell, it's almost impossible to tell the difference between the two. And that's the point. And we have got to be very honest with ourselves. We've got to be very vigilant. And we've got to ask lots of questions. We have got to be very careful about what it is that we're doing and not get involved or tangled up in the symptoms of the problem. Where does the source come from? Where does it all come from? It comes from the human weakness of the heart and mind. And they are no different than the rest of us. And if we are from alien gods, depending on what you believe, if we are from one divine creator, a god in a more traditional sense, we're all from the same source, and any division we have, either down here or above us that have come down before, then the division we have is truly from their ignorance and weakness also. So we mustn't get caught up in these petty little arguments. This is the bigger picture here. But you're not supposed to know this. You're supposed to argue and fight and worry about how you're going to pay your mortgage and your job and etc, etc. So for what it's worth, that's my 2 cents on the subject for the moment. Hopefully I'll be making more videos in future, and I look forward to listening to your thoughts and feedback and what I can learn from you also. So if you've listened to my video, then thank you, and take care for now.